Nana's Beauty Science Salon. The next morning, Nana returned to the jewelry reactivity room. On the table were 3 shiny bowls. One was labeled copper sulfate solution, one was labeled iron sulfate solution, one was labeled potassium sulfate solution. Tinos looked worried. He said, "This looks like a test." Nana said, "It is a challenge. Today we use the Reactivity series to predict reactions." Debbie sat nearby with a notebook. She said, "Good. Predict first, then react." Nana held up a metal strip. She said, "This is zinc." Then she pointed to the blue copper sulfate solution. Nana said, "Copper is in this solution as copper ions. If zinc is more reactive than copper, zinc can push copper out." Tino said, "Like taking someone's chair?" Nana laughed. "Yes. A more reactive metal takes the place of a less reactive metal." She placed zinc into the copper sulfate solution. Slowly, a reddish-brown coating appeared on the zinc. Tino said, "That must be copper." Nana said, "Correct. Zinc displaced copper." She wrote on the mirror, "Zinc plus copper sulfate makes zinc sulfate and copper." Then she added, "More reactive metal displaces less reactive metal." Tino said, "So displacement only happens if the metal added is more reactive?" Nana said, "Exactly." Then Nana picked up copper metal. She placed it into zinc sulfate solution. Nothing happened. Tino said, "Why no reaction?" Nana said, "Because copper is less reactive than zinc. It cannot push zinc out." Tino said, "So less reactive cannot displace more reactive?" Nana nodded. "Correct." Then she showed him a chart. Potassium was high on the chart. Calcium was below potassium. Magnesium was below calcium. Zinc was below magnesium. Iron was below zinc. Copper was below iron. Silver and gold were near the bottom. Nana said, "In exam questions, compare positions in the reactivity series." Tino said, "Higher metal wins." Nana said, "Yes, higher metal displaces lower metal from its compound." Then Nana brought out the mystery metal card. It said, "This metal displaces copper and zinc, but it does not displace calcium." Tino stared at the chart. He said, "It must be above copper and zinc, but below calcium." Nana said, "Good." Tino said, "Magnesium?" Nana smiled. "Yes, magnesium is the mystery metal." Debbie said, "So it is like a ranking game?" Nana said, "Exactly. The reactivity series is the leaderboard." Then Nana gave Tinos another challenge. "Chromium displaces iron and copper, but not potassium." Tino said, "Then chromium is more reactive than iron and copper, but less reactive than potassium." Nana said, "Perfect." She pointed to the 3 bowls again. "If chromium is added to iron sulfate, it reacts. If chromium is added to copper sulfate, it reacts. If chromium is added to potassium sulfate, there is no reaction." Tino said, "Because potassium is more reactive than chromium." Nana said, "Exactly." Then Nana showed him what to look for during displacement reactions. She said, "Sometimes you see a color change. Sometimes a metal coating appears. Sometimes the solution changes color. And sometimes nothing happens." Tino said, "No reaction is still an observation." Nana said, "Very important. In science, nothing happening can still tell us something." She wrote the final displacement script on the mirror. Displacement happens when a more reactive metal replaces a less reactive metal from its compound. Use the reactivity series to predict if it happens. The more reactive metal must be higher in the series. A less reactive metal cannot displace a more reactive metal. Zinc displaces copper from copper sulfate. Copper cannot displace zinc from zinc sulfate. Color change or a metal coating can show a reaction. No change means no displacement happened. Tinos read the last line again. No change means no displacement happened. Nana nodded. Good. That completes the jewelry reactivity room. Tinos looked at the gold rings, the magnesium strip, and the blue solution. He said, So metals have personalities? Nana said, Yes. Some are calm like gold, some are dramatic like magnesium, and the reactivity series tells us who reacts first. Debbie closed her notebook. She said, That one will stay in my head. Nana smiled. Next, we leave chemistry and enter the baby and body science room.